Alright, we should be live everywhere now. So welcome to our third stream of the day. Let's see. Where is this scheduled channel? Alright, looks like they're getting ready to draft. Good, he's posted in the channel. Perfect. Hello, Maple Leaf Lancer. Hello again, HQ. Hello everyone. Alright, still just waiting for the drafts to show up. And hello, Eric. Alright, looks like they're going. So far, I'm doing pretty well today. Hello, Tundra Blitz. Hello. Nico, T90 clowning. I have to watch this. Clowning or maybe getting clowned? First time catching a stream this early. Now, am I doing pretty well? Now, T90 is playing. T90 is playing, yes. Yes. This is, let me check the seeds. BuLLeT, not sure what BuLLeT's elo is these days. Let me see if I can double check that. All-time high of 2K7 on DE. Alright, thought he might be a bit higher than that. But okay, he's currently 1972. When will the game start? They're gonna do their drafts, and then they'll start. Probably, I'd guess maybe around 10 minutes or so. Drafting usually takes a bit of time. They have typed 14 to each other several times in the chat. Oh yeah, hello Onion. You did kill 2 Vills, yes. Gave it all against Sebastian. I enjoyed that Siege Tower play. $100 says he drafts Chimera. How do they work? There are a number of admin bans, or random bans at the start. Then each player picks 7 civs, and after the civs are picked, they snipe one of the civs, so they're left with 6. So there are no global player bans. All the bans are random, and then at the end, they each snipe off 1 civ from their opponent's draft. The snipe is just after they see all 7 civs that are drafted, and they pick one that their opponent then cannot play. So it's essentially a ban after the picks, instead of before. Also, everyone give some flowers in the chat to Onion, who had played against Sebastian in our stream earlier today. It is the round of 128, yes. This will be going on over the weekend. Next round starts next week. It should be one round a week. Drafting. They're doing the draft right now. Once they get the Civ draft created, I'll put it on the screen. I realize I don't have separate overlays for map and Civ draft individually, so if they don't create the Civ draft before the map draft, and I need to wait for the map draft to be finished. Otherwise, I'll have another series Civ draft up, and I need to click around half a dozen buttons because of the silly way I have the overlay set up right now to get to swap them properly. So I'm just gonna wait. There'll be another at the end of the map draft will be another minute or so, then hopefully they get this created. One day I think I would like to somehow have the drafts combine. The Civ and the map drafts. Do something like, I don't know, like maybe just have a fixed timer in between the map draft and the Civ draft. That way you don't have like one team or one player who's ready to go right away, and another team that's taking 10 minutes to sit down, set up their spreadsheets, figure out what civs they're drafting after seeing all the maps. Not that it should start immediately, but I think it might be nice if we just had a fixed timer. Just to keep it consistent and make sure things move along. You're on time? You are on time today, Kinky Konik. You are exactly on time. And hello, Timmy Bob on YouTube. Thanks for casting so many games. I've been enjoying it. Do I have any tips for drafting and banning? That is a good question. I don't know. I feel like back, like in the BuLLeT days, which is still feels like the days I'm used to playing. There were kind of a more strict advantage that some players had in mechanics and execution, where they'd always pick water maps in their drafts, and we've maybe kind of lost that a bit. We still do kind of have specialists, like players who are really good at Nomad, who are really good at the clown maps. But I guess it's picking your playstyle and probably just doing a lot of practice drafts. Trying to figure out how to use different civs on different maps so you have options. Is this the Swedish BuLLeT? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Are the qualifiers for the Ling Wang Cup still going on? Yes, they are. It is the Chinese mainland qualifier going on this week. And let's see, do they have a Civ draft? Yes, they do. Perfect. Alright, now I can swap my scenes over. Boom, there we are. Now we can see the maps, and we will see, this is the first time I'm gonna cast it. Palisade Socotra will be game number 1. T90 picked Koala and Canberra as his home maps, and BuLLeT picked Triple Tunnel and Skukuza. So Palisade Socotra is just what the name would imply, Socotra, but you have a palisade wall around your base. Why doesn't the game have an inbuilt draft system? That would be lovely. It would be lovely if they had an inbuilt draft system that we somehow could hook into and still have for overlays. I guess the wonderful thing about the Captain's Mode website is that we can just grab the browser source and throw it into OBS. But as long as that still works, and considering how we can view all the lobby information and whatnot on the spectator dashboard or other sites, hopefully that would still work if it were in-game. I think an in-game system would be great. That was one of those things we had ideas we had back before DE came out, where we were thinking of more projects to do. Was going to be some type of lobby system where you could integrate the drafts into the lobbies, and that way you would not end up... Well, that way you could have a situation where the draft is right there for the players in the lobby, and you could just eliminate those admin situations where players accidentally pick the wrong civ. You can. That is exactly what I have here. It is the captain's mode. I just make a browser source in OBS. I copy and paste the URL there. I apply some custom CSS to remove the background, and that's what I have here. We don't even have an in-game replay system. We want a draft system. We have very moderate expectations for the second remaster of this game. So is Palisade like Reverse Arena? It's like Hideout. It's just imagine Socotra, but you're surrounded by a Palisade wall. He isn't streaming this? I don't think he's nervous, but I think he's taking this seriously. He usually doesn't stream when he plays. Yes, there was definitely, I think, some unfortunate admin decisions coming from Nilly for the LY Cup qualifier there. Well, I wouldn't say it's like Hideout, because Hideout distinctly has that forest in the middle. So T90 goes for Persians. Alright, extra HP on that TC. When you're restricted to one TC, faster working for more vills can be a nice bonus. Please let the AOG gods be kind and start soon. Predictions from my side? I'm gonna guess T90 wins this 3-0. But I think it'll also be a competitive set. It's not gonna be like a 3-0 instant sweep. HQ says 3-1. Where can you find the brackets? Challenge.com/SuddenDisaster2. And also, don't check Wikipedia because they're not there. Does that link actually send you there? Yes, it does. Check the bracket on Challenge, because Wikipedia isn't tracking the rounded 128. I don't know why. Apparently it's too big for them. I don't know what makes it too big. T90 plus Chimera equals OP. No hideout, though, for the Ballista Elephant Shrub Cut. With the new boar mechanic, you can lure boars right from the first villager. I don't think luring bills right from the first villager is going to be a thing, because you want to have the food under the TC right away, and I think that's still going to be later than a sheep, and you also want enough vills to collect from the boar that you're not losing too much food to rot. But I think taking the boar after the first sheep already has been a thing for a while, regardless of the luring mechanic. I don't think the boar change really is going to change the efficiency of taking boars in your lure, so much as it just removes the risk of luring boars, and that you can always garrison the vill, shoot it with the TC, and it removes some of the mechanics of making sure that you get the boar hunted correctly, not necessarily the efficiency of the builds. On Socotra, though, you're taking it right away no matter what. You're taking the elephant right away. That's... I don't think any mechanics matter there. Also, a reminder that the round of 28, the patch dropped in the middle of this round. So we are finishing this round on the old patch. So you still will be able to kill the boars with your TC on this patch. Yeah, and I guess you're right. It is walled. They could maybe do that Lelouch style laming where they shoot the boar over the wall just to kill it, or shoot the elephant just to kill it. Alright, so hopefully they get their lobby up and we get launched in just a moment. Yeah, T90's hosting. Good. Let's make sure I'm actually on the lot previous patch. Yes, I am myself. I don't think the win rate of T90 is affected by auto farm at all. I think auto farm just took one very clunky UI mechanic and replaced it with one that is just as clunky, and spam clicking the mill is not a very good interaction with the game. Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Macho. That is not a change that I like, and I don't think it does anything to make the game more accessible. I think it just makes it different in a way that actually kind of makes it a bit less entertaining or less fun for a lot of players, because you no longer have that goal of learning to lure the boar and striving to get to the point where you can get to the TC shots. And you don't have that satisfaction of learning something and overcoming the challenge and figuring it out. And now it's just so much, I guess, easier that there's no risk that you shoot with the TC every single time. So we'll see what happens to it, but I definitely am not a fan of the change myself. Alright, BuLLeT has joined the lobby, and they are ready to go. BuLLeT saying he might have been disastered by the admin bans. I don't think saying it makes new players lazy is the right phrasing, but I think it removes part of the charm of one of the more iconic things you have in multiplayer. I can't tell you the number of low elo games I've seen over the years where luring the boar was one of the fun parts of the game. What's my opinion on the foxes? So I think my opinion on stuff like foxes is, in general, I think it's nice to add new stuff to the game, like the chickens, but that stuff probably should be made its own thing and not placed on maps like Arena, or not placed on the existing maps. If you were to make a new map where the foxes were their own mechanic and an important part of the map, I think I'd prefer that than seeing them thrown onto the existing maps. It's just worse wolves. Alright, so consistent successful borelors is one of the first milestones for a noob. Exactly. Just thinking a high-level tournament pro would accidentally kill his boar with his TC that would previously generate some really good and interesting games, and now that aspect has been taken away. Yeah, I can understand people who think maybe it's too harsh of a penalty to remove all the food from the boar, but I think there still should be some penalty to it, whether it's 50% of the boar food being lost by the TC. Just keep it as that nice option. I feel like, you know, shooting with the TC would occasionally happen in the original game, and in DE became a thing where the pros all do it, but was never. It's definitely smoother once you get the hang of it, but it's definitely harder to pull off, and it's not a huge advantage of pulling it off successfully compared to just shooting with the Vils. So it's something where if you're a low-level player, you can just ignore that and shoot with the Vils every time, and then later on as you get better, it starts becoming this new fun skill for you to learn. But anyway, let me give a shout out also to John Slow, who is also the co-host of this event. Yeah, that too. I think the number of changes. I mean, honestly, I stream this game every single day, and I have no idea what some of the changes are. So for a lot of people, I think the number of changes can be a bit overwhelming. I agree, happy to have new maps with special shenanigans rather than update the old ones. Yeah. I can see some people liking it on Arena, but I feel like, I don't know, I like Arena being the map that it has been for a really long time, because it's a really fun map to play. And, you know, if you want to make some variants of it, like we have Palisade Socotra, if you want to make a twist on Arena with a different setup, and have that be its own like niche thing, then go ahead. But the main map, I think, is good to remain as the main map. Yeah, that's another thing too. I think one of the weaknesses of DE is that you can't play custom maps as a ranked game like you could back on BuLLeT or even on HD. Usually you'd have a tournament come out and then everyone would start playing like War is Coming Arabia on HD. And you don't have that anymore. You're stuck with whatever the ladder version is, with whatever bugs are in that map. I think a lot of people would have fun being able to play tournament maps or just have a bit more variety with custom maps too. Viper is playing in the tournament. Just not today, his sets were scheduled. He's playing on Sunday. Shouldn't you go for phosphor rushes every game with sudden death? I'm sure that is an option, but I think it's very map dependent. Like the idea of foxes being on tournament versions of Arena to open up new strats, but want the general DE version to be the same. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't mind occasionally seeing some other versions played as tournaments, but like, you know, just the day-to-day ladder version I like being the same. It's kind of like Rage Arena, right? We did a lot of fun stuff with Rage Arena. So here we are, T90 versus BuLLeT. T90 as the blue Khmer, BuLLeT as the red Koreans. T90's elephant is definitely more forward. BuLLeT lucked out with his elephant being to the side. It is Palisade Socotra Looks like you have your berries within your palisade walls, but everything else on the outside, your boar, your zebras, your golds, your stones, and you have to venture outside the safety of your walls to grab there, to grab those resources. So we had, what was it? It was Regicide Socotra in Heaven and Hell. Now we have Palisade Socotra Sudden Death. So if you haven't seen Sudden Death before, it's a game mode where you are restricted to a single town center. If you get to the Castle Age, you cannot build more town centers. If you're the Cumans, you don't have your Civ bonus for the second TC. You only have one. And if you lose that town center, you are defeated. It's like Regicide, but the town center is your king. And Khmer Koreans, both interesting in their own ways. Well, that is a higher ELO than AoE 2 Insights told me. 2110 definitely feels more realistic for what his ELO should be than 1900. Maybe I found the wrong BuLLeT account though, when I clicked on BuLLeT. So sometimes, I mean, it's not like it's the most unique name. It's like when I try to play team games with Ray or Hank, and I can't figure out, or Eli, and I can't figure out which is which in the list. T90 and his soccer cleats are at least a bit more unique. I mean, how many Americans are there named after soccer cleats? He might be the only one. T90's been grinding. He's been grinding. Yeah, no douching, specific god. No douching. You very much do not want to douche. You cannot delete your TC to rebuild it, because deleting your TC means you get defeated. Also, I'm kind of surprised BuLLeT hasn't taken the elephant. He's been pushing the zebras right by it. Did he not scout that somehow? Maybe he didn't? Maybe he didn't scout that. It's one tile off. It's got to wander into his line of sight, right? Oh, it's going away. It's going away. Wait a minute. I can do this. I can do this. Ready? Spy mode. Yes. You can see active vision, scouted vision, and then not scouted. Elephant so far not scouted. Okay, ooh. Okay, I can't actually tell. No, not in his line of sight there. Maybe BuLLeT thinks he got lamed? Maybe T90 could lame? Okay, scout fight here. So Vil gonna go out there. Vil will help with the scout fight. Will it see the elephant now? Yes, he will now see the elephant. There he goes. If he's paying attention, and he is, because he sends the Vil over there right away. He needs to go send a Vil to finish that house, though. His elephant was in such a safe location, he didn't even scout it. Oh, he's doing loom. He's doing loom. Okay, now he's going to finish the house. No, I thought that Vil was going to finish the house. Alright. And there we go. Nice lore. But needs to finish the house. There you go. Sends another Vil out. He will slightly be housed. But not too bad. The idle TC time take up just a bit for him. That's one of those things. Even at this level, you get housed and the maps can get to you. Now, that's the fun thing about AoE 2, right? Like, we all... Ooh, the zebra's getting pushed in. Nice. Love to see that. Love when zebras take funny paths like that. That's the fun thing. You know, you're a new player, you get housed, and you think, oh, one day I'm going to be a much better player and I won't get housed. And, well, maybe you won't get housed as much, but you're still going to get housed every now and then. Still going to have situations like this, where managing the food in the Dark Age it can be a bit overwhelming, even at this level. That's part of the charm. Zebra is trolling. How is it calculated? Oh, that is a very good question. I never actually thought about that. I guess there's probably a set number of tiles from where the animal first spawns that it's allowed to wander in. That seems consistent with how the chickens work from when I've tried funneling them. That is a good question. And now we're going to have BuLLeT venturing outside to the stone. T90's scout will see that right away. His walls still are open, and maybe we should go back to the Fog of War off mode so we can spectate properly now that we see the elephants got in. Yep, exactly. Well, he also got housed because when he went to take the elephant, he didn't send a second villager to do the house. Right, it's a lot to manage. He could have sent another villa out there. He could have just plopped another house down somewhere in the back. Definitely there were options there, but it's a lot to manage all at once when you're probably not used to playing Palisades and Kotra all that much. And thank you, Buckman87, for the follow. Trained with MBL. Viper usually plays A-tier tournaments. Yeah, he does. The crew of Viper Doubt Tato usually do sign up for some of the more crazy or special settings types of tournaments. You're such a soothing voice. Well, thank you. People tell me that they listen to T90 to fall asleep, but occasionally he screams and wakes them up. And they enjoy my casts because I don't wake them up. Alright, let me... I gotta keep Alt-Tab... Okay. Since I'm also hosting this tournament, I need to keep an eye on my Discord messages while casting, just in case some admin situation pops up that I need to attend to. But okay, it's not an admin situation right there. Oof. Oh, hello, Jade Arrow. I'll respond to that when I get a chance. Waking up people is rude. Unless they want to be woken up. Be very polite to give someone a wake-up call if they schedule it. I mean, if they schedule it, it'd be rude not to. Has the Max? The Max keeps playing, yes. He played in that Finland show match the other week. Paradox is doing some Nations Cup show matches. He's definitely not at the same setup for 1v1 tournaments like he was in the past. Still, if there are more team game tournaments, he's likely going to play. He and Valessa just were not able to sign up for cartographers because the finals coincided with their midsummer holiday, and they were not going to be around for that. ChatGPT said it couldn't be done. That is the strangest error. And I've sent that exact code to several people, and it just straight up worked. And I don't know what's going on for you. Six skirm play. Everyone loves their skirms. Well, cheaper skirms for the Koreans. They have that wood discount, and they have the free armor. Doesn't matter in the skirm fight in the Dark Age, though, but they have it. It works against the scout. So BuLLeT will do the tower. As the Koreans, I'm sure he's going to want to have lots of towers. A free guard tower on Socotra will be amazing if he can get to the Castle Age. Have I ever done math before? I may have dabbled. He's starting to pull ahead in food. There's a lot of farms. Those Khmer farmers matter. This is the math stream. This is the one stream where we do have math. I think we can probably take the title of nerdiest stream. Yeah, 41 seconds of idle time. Some from the house, some later. He does have a good number of farmers out, though. Getting up to 11 farmers. His Koreans don't have an eco bonus other than their faster stone mining. So not something that helps them get up to the Castle Age faster. But will help them get up more towers. And like I was saying, guard towers on this map feel like they're going to be really strong if he gets there, but that's a big if. And T90, with the gold on the side, has done a great job managing to wall himself down there and find a safe spot to gather the gold. BuLLeT being a bit more aggressive, going to the front of his base. But could have maybe done the same thing as T90. Done a straight wall off down here. Even just finished the wall to the range. go to the edge wood line, and then he'd have a really safe gold back here. Could have done taken the gold a bit more easily than needing to force the tower up. But I think this is just, you know, it's a very subtle thing. But the way T90 managed to wall his base, even just taking advantage of that little wood line he had in front of the gold, lets him get up to the castle age a lot faster because he doesn't need to spend all that villager time mining the stone. So it's, what, 600-700 resources collected difference already. But add even more to that because you're spending time on stone rather than food and gold. And he's up, but up with fewer skirms, 9 to 17. 2 tower defense. And maybe as the Koreans he could maybe catch up in skirm numbers, but that could be tricky. I guess the good thing about maybe Koreans Khmer is both can do siege. For a second I was thinking, oh, the extra range on the Korean Mangonel line should counter the extra range of the Khmer Scorpions. But with Korea, then I realized Korea doesn't have Mangonels anymore. And I remembered what year it was. YouTube fighting over the crown in the chat. I was thinking if I could turn that off somewhere, and I briefly looked at the settings and didn't see a way to turn it off. I like the promotion of chat engagement, but I really don't like the XP systems where we gamify just sitting in the stream and watching the chat. I want you to watch to enjoy the stream, not because of some silly points. Can you cut trees with the rocket cart? You can cut trees with the heavy rocket cart, with the Imperial Age upgrade, not with the Castle Age rocket cart. Round to 128 is the old patch, yes. So skirms are at their old production speed. You can turn it off for yourself as a viewer, but not as a stream. Okay, that's what it looked like when I looked at the settings. So double tower on the gold. BuLLeT looking to stay safe. And we'll have Bodkin and Elite Skirm on the way, probably for both of them. We'll see if T90 commits to Elite Skirm. Skirms could maybe become a bit trickier to use in the presence of Knights and especially Scorpions. And you'd probably expect the Khmer to be going for Scorpions. Heavy rocket carts explode trees. Is there someone for every game watching it live to admin? We have a team of like 4 or 5 people who admin the games. And for the round of 128, there might not be someone around for every single game. But we attempt to be around as much as possible. For the later rounds of the tournament, then yes, admins will definitely be around. Oh, I didn't see this earlier, I think, but thank you, Marcel Ago for the follow. I think I pronounced that horribly incorrectly, but thank you very much. Where are the towers at? The towers are on their way. And there's guard tower everywhere for BuLLeT. Falling really far behind in resources, but he's got his towers up. Maybe the towers become tricky to push. Guard towers usually do counter mangonels fairly well. Did I say that? Yes, I did, because they followed. Only with an extra E in the name. Yeah, castle here for T90 would destroy those 2 towers. But I guess the good thing is that BuLLeT still would have gold over here. It feels like just that economy and some slight efficiency has been there for T90 this game. There are the mangonels. No way that castle gets stopped. Guard towers might at least do some damage to the mangonel there, but T90 will pull that back in time. Well, hello, Marcy, and welcome. I don't know who Murcielago is. That's the hard thing when people have names with a reference that chat understands, but I don't. It's a car model. Also a Spanish word for a bat. Okay. Well, you'll need to stop by next time we cast Enclosed and it forms the bat symbol. More houses going up, and BuLLeT continuing to wall. Knights running around for T90. We'll see if we can do damage with them. Yeah, T90, you're also going for the relics. Collect all 5 relics, and it's about the same as having 6 villagers, and an extra 6 vills when you're restricted to 1 TC is a big advantage. Oh, is a car in need for speed? Okay. Nice position for future trebs. That too. I mean, at this position, T90 could ignore that castle, come over to this way and treb the TC. So more walls coming up for BuLLeT, just trying to stay walled in. Lots of pikemen chasing the knights. Finally gonna get a decent couple of hits in, but the knights will be able to run away. And another monk bringing a relic into the monastery, and T90 will have all 5 relics. Hello there, Sunnyflower. Good luck to you in your games. Well, he'll be his own advice and go for 4 trebs. See, you don't need 4 trebs in sudden death to snipe a TC. The TC is much more fragile than the castle, has half the hit points. And I think probably not the same armor, although I guess armor doesn't really matter against trebs. They have so much attack. If he can go imp, but then so can BuLLeT. And remember, it is sudden death, so as much as T90 has an advantage, if he does just suddenly lose a treb war early on, that could quickly flip the game around. Don't think that's going to happen, though, as he's going to have a second castle. I wonder if he'll wall the trebs, you're right. Oh, we might see T90 walling the trebs himself. That would have to be a breakdown video. T90 walls his own trebs. When are we casting low elo legends? In the round of 128, we have some low elo legends for sure. Treb wall, the new meta. I don't think it's a new meta. I mean, treb walls have definitely been a thing for many years. I have a really old YouTube video about walling trebs where I mention it, but maybe he's discovered a couple of new nuances that DE's projectile system sets up. So he's going for a ram push. So Ram's beginning the push as he's going to be doing trebs on the way up. Clutch a gate. Gotta love a good gate. I'm ready for the Reddit controversy. The ram goes down. And I'll have Captor Ram, Redemption, Bracer, and Elite Skirm on the way. So One Treb comes out, and this castle desperately being repaired, but double castle Treb production here. Oh, that is a very low castle for someone when the Trebs haven't even been popped out yet. But there's the rocket cart destroying the ram, and the castle will stay up for BuLLeT. BuLLeT's going to try counter-trebbing now. He'll need to mine a lot of stone, and it will be hard for him when he doesn't have his own Trebs out right away, but he is the Koreans. If he ever could afford chemistry, he could make bombard cannons. That's perhaps a big but at this point, though, because it's 5 relics for T90 with a 10 lead, and that economy for BuLLeT's not going to be anywhere close to that of T90, especially with T90s having the Chimera farms. Gotta respect that lone villager willing to go that deep to repair a ram. Hey, it's safe from the castle fire when it's that close. The ram blocks the castle fire. Not safe from everything else, but safe from the castle fire. And without the castle to protect the trebuchets, and without any walls in front of them, here come T90's knights. And we'll take down the Trebs, as the keep will, not be destroyed. But the keep doesn't matter. BuLLeT will just call the GG. T90 would have been trebbing the TC anyway. So there's the GG. And that's 47 to 33 on the KD for T90. But I think the main lead was the economy lead, getting the advantage in scrub numbers, then in castle age timing. And just over time turning a smaller lead into a bigger and bigger one, getting imp with the double castles compared to one. Had the eco for the ram push during that transition, and takes game number 1. Alright. Make statues in that fills memory. That's 1-0 for T90. So as I said, I do feel like T90 is probably the favorite here, but I think that game showed definitely will be a competitive set. That's a win for the Khmer, and a loss for the Koreans. Alright, and looks like the next map will be Skukuza, the map with all the hunt on it. This is Young Panda's map from the Warlords map competition. We've seen Armenians on this map a few times. BuLLeT has them. Go for some epic men-at-arms longswords play. If they win... Let's see the bracket. It would be Sorkuma versus I Like Dinosaurs, and I think that Sorokuma is a pretty safe bet to win that matchup, considering the seeding difference, and will be quite the upset. Or quite the admin decision, if anything else were to occur. Nope, Scrumpy, in this game mode, once your TC is destroyed, you are defeated. That's what sudden death is all about. One TC and that's it. That would be gradual disaster. This is pure sudden disaster. Yeah, no douching. Yes, the new video on RMS is planned, Hestia. The problem is I had like 5 minutes left to finish editing, and then I had to cast cartographers. And then right after that, the new patch update came and actually broke all the map scripts, so I had to fix the map scripts. And now I need to not just edit 5 minutes to the video, but change the 5 minutes of the video I didn't edit yet, and then finish editing the video. So that is planned. I have 15 minutes of Manum Manum animations. Well, Pudding Kip, that's why we have Jungle Rumble in the map pool for this. That is a 2TC sudden death. But it does work where you have to lose both of them. It's not as soon as you lose one. Surely someone tried douching on sudden death? Well, I think that's a situation where, as Yoda would tell us, there is no try. Definitely the game mode where you want those safe hotkeys with the pop-up message if you try to delete your TC. Hello, no one of consequence? Exactly. That's why you cannot douche on these settings. You're honored to be considered a round of 128 low elo legend. Oh well, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. We did see one pretty good upset over Thunderbolt, but that wasn't the biggest elo gap. That was still 1900. I'm waiting for the days the 1400 wins a game. We saw John Perkins almost win a game. We saw Crab actually I think come fairly close in her game 2 against Hart. And they should have launched. There they go. Yeah, sometimes whenever I use Firefox, the dashboard does not auto launch into games for some reason. Ooh, did you, Matza? Sounds interesting. Yeah, and Huggy, the benefit of Nilly's intervention, if you will. Alright, so a minute spectator delay. It'll be Mongols Japanese on Skahuza. Alright, so BuLLeT opting for Japanese rather than Armenians. If it does somehow go late game, I do think that Japanese cav archers usually do fairly well against the Mongols. But that is perhaps later than this map will ever go, especially in sudden death. You never know though, maybe it does reach early to mid Castle Age. Yeah, exactly. Budapest sudden death, you have to lose both of them. Buenos tardes. Hello, Toledo Villegas. Is that a reference to those Toledo villagers who flee off the edge of the map in El Cid 2? That was the name of the city there, right? Anyway, this is Kukuza, a map by Young Panda. And it is a map... The last time we saw this map, every single one of the hunt in the middle was either taken or lamed. And that is, someone quick math, 36 plus 38. That's like 37 times 2. So 74 total hunt in the middle. No, it's definitely an even number, Jade. It's 2 even numbers. I'm gonna go 74. Yeah, 74. They said quick, not accurate. Well, fair enough. Math I do doesn't really have numbers in it anyway. That's why I need chat's help. Alright, so T90, it looks like he has a build here. He's putting 2 vills on the straggler trees. These are Bobab trees with 200 wood each. So this is basically like you have 10 straggler trees around your TC because they have double the wood. And he is instantly going for the barracks. He is going for the Mongols' insta-barracks. And we'll see if he goes for a mill in the middle after doing some militia. And when does he do a mining camp versus a lumber camp versus potentially go to pick up the goats? Because it does take pushing time away from the deer if you're going to pick up the goats, and that can hurt if you're Mongols. Meanwhile, BuLLeT, he's starting to send his vills to the middle. He will take advantage of the Japanese bonus that their drop sites, their mills, lumber camps, and mining camps, are half cost. They're only 50 wood instead of 100, so he can go nice and early to start taking the hunt. Now, we have seen on this map, it can devolve into a massive villager fight, with militia being added in. And that means you do want loom. And you have to remember to click loom. And if you do get to that point where you're greedy clicking up to the feudal age without loom, you can actually be punished for it. Yeah, we'll see if this... Well, we'll see if this is just a laming strat, or if it's a fight the vills strat. Because with the militia this early, the vills don't have loom. And T90 just needs to make sure BuLLeT cannot quick wall. And he tries, but doesn't quite react in time. And BuLLeT needs loom. No loom for BuLLeT. Ooh, almost tries to Alcatraz the Vill. And the other Vill's gonna get back. Well, I guess he'll make up for potentially being housed because he lost the Vill. But he does need to make a house, and make one ASAP. He's making a barracks rather than a house. He doesn't have the wood for the house. There he goes. And once again, we might see BuLLeT getting housed just due to some laming shenanigans. The T90's militia standing idle next to the house instead of attacking it. Can you even defeat Mongols in this map? We have seen some games where Mongols lost, right? Yes, there we go. Loom from both players. Bills are out a bit before the loom. It's coming in, though. And now they're ready to fight, and fight the militia off. Same size and around the same HP. In the Dark Age, they definitely have more HP, though. Remember, because the houses also have to have that -2 melee armor now. These things definitely a bit sturdier. Although I guess in AOC, the houses, before they had their HP nerfs, even would have been stronger. There's no disaster. Well, there might be a disaster. Sometimes sudden death games are more normal games. So, Ornlu and T West Enjoyer, thank you for the follow. So now it's time for BuLLeT to push back with some militia now that T90 has spent his food clicking up. But as the Mongols, he has a huge food advantage. And once he gets up, you can click Men-at-Arms, maybe even do blacksmith upgrades, maybe add an archery range. Start making some skirmishers. Holy zebra, yes, holy zebra, holy ostrich. A Mongol hunt. Kind of the downside of the bonus is because there are map types where it is just overwhelmingly strong. Perhaps even more so than that old Indians shore fishing bonus, although that was free wins for Indians on a lot of maps too. And it is hard to overcome this eco difference. So there's Feudal. BuLLeT still has not clicked up himself. And this might be a very quick game. Might not have a TC disaster, but might have a huge Vil and militia fight in the middle as T90 will look to teach BuLLeT a lesson with his new men-at-arms. Big Vil fight, he'll force the fight by laying the tower foundation. And then delete the foundation. Just wants the men-at-arms to fight. There we go. Men-at-arms doing their job, hacking at the villagers, hacking at the enemy militia. And they'll tear through this. Oh, look at those men-at-arms go. Vils going down. Men-at-arms taking a fair share of whacks from the Vils themselves, but their attack is so strong at this point in the game. So lots of weak Vils there for BuLLeT. Another weak Vil being chased down. Men-at-arms kills him mercilessly. And BuLLeT still trying to get some more militia out. But now it's 5-0 on the Eco KD for T90. As is just an absolute slaughter. Finally, T90 loses a Vil. Finally loses one. And the Indians on Bedouins were one of the biggest civ bonuses you get. Or even the Chinese back on Nomad when they started with their 3 extra Vils and you couldn't dock right away. Well, you could dock right away, but wouldn't be a good decision with the Chinese. And for all civs, you didn't have the shorefish drop-off at the dock, so the start for Nomad was different. And T90 also getting an archer out, and you cannot fight archers when you're in the Dark Age. That's for sure, as the militia come forward. Archer's coming forward. I like that BuLLeT's putting up a fight, though. I like that he's still trying to make something happen, even though he knows he's down. He's not going down without a fight. He's keeping the Vils coming. He doesn't have that much idle TC time, at least, but he's soon to be pushed off of all the hunt thanks to the archers. T90 doing a house right in the middle. And BuLLeT's up. BuLLeT's up. He's up to Feudal. Although in the back, he's facing some trouble on the home front as the archers have gotten into his gold mine. And they'll be taking out the Vils. And there's the GG. He'll call it, and T90 goes up 2-0. So, holy Mongols, we'll look at the food collected. That's one military graph. Food collected. Let's look at that. Let's look at isolate the food. Mongols might be pretty good at collecting food from hunt. To be fair, by the end, BuLLeT had caught up somehow. Don't know how, but he did. I guess there was a period where he was pushing T90 back across the middle a bit. Banner pick Mongols on that map. I wonder how Goths would do in that setup. Because remember, they have a hunt bonus too, that the hunt lasts longer, but I guess the length of the hunt doesn't matter on that map when there's so much hunt. And the next map will be Canberra. That's Mongols. Very high pick from T90 over the Japanese. I wonder if we'll see Armenians here from BuLLeT, and he might go for some type of fortified church rush. But then we could also see Georgians for T90. We could see dual fortified churches. Yeah, Insta-Loom for Goths could be nice on that map too, if you really want to Vil fight right away. Hope I didn't leave the previous game. Alright, and okay, T90 did not go for Georgians, he went for Dravidians, so it'll be Dravidians, Armenians, BuLLeT indeed. Potentially going for the fortified church rush with Armenians. Yep, Pisture. Higher seed picks first, and then it goes Serpentine. Strange not to pick Mongols if you have 2 picks. Well, he must have very valued the Armenians. I mean, remember, we don't get to see where he would have used his first pick, so that was sniped off. Yep, exactly, Tom Hubbard, exactly. And thank you, NathChat250M, for the follow. So game number 3, I'll just put BuLLeT once more in the red. And it will be on camera. So again, remember, and for everyone out there who loves the addition of the chickens and the funnels, I do have a sub goal. If we hit 500 subs during this event, I will cast the finals while doing a chicken cosplay. So another Titanic for the viewers. BuLLeT getting ready for a Titanic. Well, you know what? If someone Titanics, that's okay, because you always got to keep playing when you Titanic, because you never know when your opponent is going to Hindenburg. But T90, he's doing the insta-dock with Dravidians on this map, so he does have a build for it. Remember, the Dravidians do get +5 pop space on their dock, so by placing the dock on the shorefish right away, he's also going to get the house and save a tiny bit of wood. So T90, blue Dravidians to the east, BuLLeT red Armenians to the west. Chicken cosplay? No, the chicken cosplay will have a webcam, for sure. For absolute sure. If we get there, though, we need to get there. I think we probably break the channel record for subs if we do that. But what better way to celebrate than by a chicken costume? So this map, you do have a perch in the middle, a nice little fish with 30,000 food on it, so essentially infinite food. And by docking all the way back here, you're not going to immediately be able to take from that fish efficiently. It's a very far journey to sail out there. But you'll likely get a second dock out here later on, so you can start trading the fishing ships early. And later dock and have a bigger fishing ship advantage if you keep the dock and the TC running. Armenian eco upgrade's really nice, and I think fortified churches for a rush on this map are going to be extra nice. See, you'll see if BuLLeT can pull it off. You don't like that churches shoot arrows and cost no stone, it's weird? I 100% agree with you. I'm really not a fan of the civ design of the Armenians and the Georgians. Using Armenians infantry Russian has been working a lot. Nice. I did cast that a while ago, that Australia 4 before, where the Dark Age spearmen were incredibly useful. And there is BuLLeT successfully bringing in his boar. How many subs to add a funnel to the cosplay? I'm gonna do the funnel. I'm gonna do the funnel too. There's a farm near me, and I'm gonna go run along the fence and take some photos. That won't be streamed though. I don't have my PC at the farm. That'll just be on Insta. I think the trickiest thing about the churches, though, is just that mangonels don't really push them. The fortified churches have the same HP, 2,400, like a TC does, but they are much cheaper to repair. They cost about 1/5 the wood to repair that it does a TC. A sexy funnel cosplay. I don't know how we can make a funnel sexy. Well, give me ideas and we can make a sub goal. Yeah, good luck explaining to the farmer what we're doing along the fence. That's gonna be awkward. A funnel as a hat? Maybe we could, like, eat some funnel cake for the funnel. I haven't had one of those in a long time. So feudal for both players, BuLLeT will be up a bit faster. And T90 is gonna need a second dock, I think, if he wants to fight over the water. Scouts chasing each other in the south. T90 trying to grab a sheep, and he will have his Vil forward and a militia forward as well. We'll chase down the Vil. And yeah, there's the second dock. There's the second dock. BuLLeT trying to just be annoying. Delay the dock a bit. We'll take some hits on the scout in doing so.
Sorry.
Some militia going for the gate. And nope, BuLLeT and BuLLeT Chen are different players. Alright, scout from BuLLeT goes down in the middle. T90 will do a range. BuLLeT at least did see that range. He gets a fire galley out. We'll start harassing T90's fish. Well, it's still 1 dock versus 2. If T90 can commit to this, he can win the water, but that's also a pretty big commit when you're doing the range and aggression on the land. Dravidians have a lot of wood, but not infinite. And this map can give you absolutely sick demo shots on the fishing ships, because they're all grouped up on one single deep fish. So over here, T90 trying to break in with the men-at-arms. Again, wants to teach BuLLeT a lesson with them. And he's thinking of getting a demo out of that dock. Okay, demo raft, 100%. There he goes on the fishing ships. Okay, they're split up, but 2 fishing ships go down. BuLLeT noticed and ran just in the nick of time. But he will take out that fire. And oh no, the gate is opened and the men-at-arms are in. Oh no, oh no. The spear goes forward and pokes down the scout. Men-at-arms go and hit the Vil. Man, wait, how did that archer die? Did BuLLeT delete the archer somehow? Wait, what? How did that archer die? What happened there? How did the archer die? Okay, I don't know what happened there, but that archer just died. And all that man-at-arms is still in the gate. Well, at least he didn't delete 60 arbalests like Tato did. I mean, it's dangerous to delete stuff that close to your TC on sudden death. Force choked from far away. This isn't Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. We'll need to do some more Galactic Battlegrounds sometime. The fire galley getting repaired. And fletching now on the way for BuLLeT. And he can't, oh, there he goes, has fletching. T90 still with a lot of archers, a lot of pressure. And finally with 2 docks, overwhelming the numbers on the water from 1 dock. BuLLeT has to repair and pull back. Has another fire there. No one with any more fishing ships. One fishing ship just back. There's a wall he's deleted to go and push this. T90 does have fletching, but skirm mixed in there will help keep T90 away. And so far, 35 to 36 vills, a BuLLeT managing to hold despite the disaster at the open gate. He'll recover from his disaster. Res collected still pretty much the same. Almost equal vill count. So archers go down. More archers go down, and we'll have Castle Age on the way for T90. And okay, he loses all of his archers. Looks up to the Castle Age, maybe when he should have been microing, and loses everything. That gold at the front of his base may be a bit exposed now. I'll have to go to the one at the back. Has a nice double mining camp back there. On the gold and the stone. Archers may be able to break in now. But T90's up. BuLLeT not too far behind. There he goes, gonna buy 100 food and click up himself, so less than a minute behind. Will I personally cast T90 Sorokuma? I mean, if they both make it there, I will try to. Everything Scrums will carry. Maybe. Let's see, Phosphoro against T90. They do play on the ranked ladder sometimes. I have casted a couple of Phosphoro versus T90 games in the past. Why is water important? Because you have an essentially infinite fish in the middle that you can take for food, and because, since it is sudden death, control of the water into your opponent's base gives you so many options for destroying the TC. Yeah, you can transport for castle drops, or for petards, or rams, or siege. Or you could just control the water for the late game, for dromons or cannon galleons. So bodkin and crossbow on the way for BuLLeT. And we'll have war galley just about finished. Yes, indeed. The entire tournament is sudden death. And okay, Outpostville goes down. United with the water. And you can see, I think, here just how much pressure that water control puts onto BuLLeT. Because he needs to keep his TC safe. And the water puts so much area that's vulnerable in the base that BuLLeT now is forced to defend. Do I know when Dave and Lucho play? I don't off the top of my head, but it should be in the schedule on the Discord. If it's scheduled already. Maybe if one of the admins are here, they could check that. Tomorrow? OG knows. Tomorrow. Okay. I'll have to try to cast that. So Siege Workshop there for T90. He's ready to defend. BuLLeT coming forward, though. And this is where things get scary if you start doing the fortified churches. BuLLeT building a palisade in the middle of nowhere, and there's that fortified church. And the thing that I think is most scary about those churches is how mangonels do not destroy them. So there's the church. And this is where, imagine walking over here. Oh, but T90 has a transport. He's got a transport. And you could go for some type of transport play to get into the base. Probably not that necessary now, with the barracks going down. So Mangonel's coming back to defend for BuLLeT. But T90's going to get a castle up. And BuLLeT, does he see the castle? He doesn't see it yet. Friday, 18 GMT for Dave. Oh, perfect. That's in the afternoon. I'll definitely cast that. I don't think I'm going to wake up early to cast tomorrow again. After the failed 6 a.m. today. But I think Yo also plays tomorrow. I'll see if I can cast that. And Ringlord, thank you very much for the sub. Back to the, I know. I need time to edit. It takes more time to make a 2 to 3 minute YouTube video than it does to make a stream sometimes. And channel's definitely not at the size where I can justify hiring an editor for videos. Okay, and what's T90 gonna drop off? 1 mangonel. I guess it's better than the reinforcements the king sent in that Joan of Arc scenario, but not much better. Oh, what's that mangonel doing? Oh, okay, there we go, getting a couple of vills. The ships are the really threatening thing here. Now T90 will put pressure on the TC. There he goes. You just transport petards. Oh, actually the crossbows. Nice crossbow play from BuLLeT. He's going to stand on the shallows and take out the fishing ships. Where is the demo? Where is the demo? T90 queuing war galleys when he needs a demo. All of T90's fish are going to go down, so nice play there from BuLLeT to catch him off guard. So where's T90? Where is the demo? The crossbows are on the shallows. Oh, that's a nice mangonel hit. Walked right into that. Yep, 5 petards to destroy a TC, if that's what you want to do, but T90 might just be able to destroy it the conventional way by eating it with mangonels. It could be a fun strat to go for here. Need to watch Tata War. Nope, it's 5, it's 5. I think a Byzantine TC might be 6, and of course a Persian TC is more. But standard TC is 5. Although you can take more than 5 in case you lose some on the way or you get blocked or there are repairs if they don't all hit at the same time. A nice mangonel defense from BuLLeT, cleaning up some ships, but T90 pulling ahead in Vil count. And 2k more resources collected for him. Crossbow's picking off a couple of Vils as the mangonel tries to chase them. Mangonel's getting some shots behind them. Let's go for repairs on the mangonel. That's a lot of repairs on the mangonel. One mangonel has to take out all those ships. Maybe it will. And maybe it will if T90 doesn't pull back. That's a lot of repairing. BuLLeT needs the resources to repair that, but the mangonel is winning so far. It will be repaired. He needs to right click. No, but another mangonel pops out. T90 could lose a lot of ships. Mangonel just needs to shoot. Where's the gather point? There he goes. There it goes. Now it's gonna pull back. Oh, but the TC will get some shots here. More shot and the ship goes down. There we go. On the outside, crossbow still here for BuLLeT. Still trying to find a way into T90's base. BuLLeT's coming forward, and if he destroys this monastery, maybe he could grab 3 relics. All of a sudden, that'll be a nice eco boost for him. T90 on stone with a clandestine mining camp. Open extra TCs, but still lose if you lose your original. That could be a thing. Now, T90 gonna have a second castle. And with 2 castles defending the TC, that should stop Petard play. Don't think they can get in that fast. And Imperial Age on the way for T90. So 2 relics out on the ground there. Another in the back. And 3 in that monastery. And T90's going to Imp, and that's going to mean he has a double castle Treb production as soon as he gets up. And he has so many more res collected. BuLLeT himself is not anywhere near clicking up to Imp. And his plan was for the Armenians' Castle Age pressure, but T90's castle defense did manage to stop the fortified church rush. Should have shipped 20 Vils and castle drops instead of 1 mangonel. I think this strategy will work too, though. Just going up and doing the Trebs. Should win a Treb war. Dravidians get cannon galleons. Armenians get Dromans. What are the Droman saves? Armenians, Goths, Byzantines, Romans, and Huns? And at least the monastery could go down. Maybe BuLLeT can grab the relics. Murder hole's on the way for T90. Really does not want to surprise Petards destroying his TC. Yeah, with the water control, he could transport Petards in too. That's the thing. Whereas BuLLeT could maybe dock block against the transports, but then T90 just like goes around through the palisade. Cumans and the American saves are the only ones without a siege ship, yes. I mean, Goths and Huns and Byzantines did used to get cannon galleon. Kind of miss Byzantines having cannon galleon. So chemistry on the way for T90. Dravidians will have access to bombard cannons. No siege engineers, but bombard cannons. Now, BuLLeT's still controlling the map down here. But maybe more than cannons will be cannon galleons, or more important will be cannon galleons. Maybe, I think, like monk defense is usually the only thing you can do against cannon galleons. You can't stone wall, but you could dock block. You could dock block and then use the docks as the ends of the stone wall. Hello, Justin Moon. Well, no composite bowman for BuLLeT. He's lost his castle. Alrighty, the Trebs are there. Oh, and transport ship for the Trebs. 3 Trebs going to garrison on a transport, along with some repair vills. And this should do it. This should do it. Alright, T90 going for the Treb snipe. Going for the Treb snipe. You can hop over what? So wall's going up for BuLLeT, but T90 will get in. And I don't know if there's any stopping this. Oh, and there's the castle drop along with Trebs. Castle will even serve as a bit of a wall. BuLLeT just walling up, but you can't wall out the Trebs like that. You know, it is the imp TC, but also the only TC. That's the important part. And GG's to BuLLeT, but T90 will take this. How did that Treb miss? Now T90 will take it. And there he goes. T90 is up to the round of 64. Well, he'll likely face Sorokuma unless we have an insane upset. There we go, better eco. And everything working out better for T90, that set. So, as I expected, kind of a 3-0 from T90, but BuLLeT, you can definitely tell BuLLeT's a good player. And definitely put up a fight. And I know BuLLeT wasn't feeling all that well today, so let's give BuLLeT some love in the chat for showing up and managing to play. Did I not update the scoreboard? I didn't update the score. There we go. 3-0 T90. Winning on Canberra. And Dravidians, his top civ picks there, all played against Armenians. No Britons for BuLLeT in that draft. You're wrong, sad face, yeah. Armenian church or Georgian church pushes should be effective. Is there a link to the Discord? Let me grab a link for you. I should probably set up my bot commands. I'm the host and I need to have bot commands. Invite people to the Discord. Invite link never expires. Copy. And there you go, the Sudden Disaster Discord. You can take Sorokuma on a good day, a very, very good day. That is also a very, very bad day for Sorokuma. All right. So I think what I'll do here, I think that'll be it for me for today. So thank you all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Not sure what time yet. I'll have to double check the schedule and see what games I want to cast. I think OG Straggler Tree told us Dave is at 18 GMT. Yes. As I said earlier, the brackets are on challenge, as Wikipedia doesn't have the rounded 128 on it. So there's the link. You can go to the challenge bracket and check it out. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I think we can raid Ornlu again on YouTube. Or actually, let me check. I think John Slow is also doing YouTube. Let me see if I can redirect John Slow. I don't know if I can. He's been streaming on YouTube too. Oh, he is. I'll send you to John Slow on YouTube and then on Twitch. Don't know if he's gonna keep going with the Armor set, so he might be casting them. So go say hi to John Slow on Twitch and on YouTube, and I'll see you all later.